G'day, guys, and welcome back to Dibble's SuperCoach. Hope you are all well and had a good weekend just gone. I am still currently overseas, currently in Greece in my last week of my trip. So, those that dialed into the live with myself and Nemo, thank you so much for your support. I was dialing in and out because the Wi-Fi was bloody kicking me out. But thank you so much for your patience and back to business as usual this coming weekend, Sunday 10 a.m. So please join us on Nemo's page. Quick, I'm not into exciting of a I guess area. I'm currently in my hotel, waiting to check out very shortly. The jacuzzi's making some bloody humming noises, so hopefully you guys can't hear that. But hey, let's get into the team. What you guys are here for? As you can see on the screen here, 2304. Shocking week. What a fall from grace from the previous week where I had a massive rank jump. Have undone some of that good work from the previous week, and I'll get into the team so you guys can see, why I did as poorly as I did. Um, and again, I'm on the one screen, guys, so just bear with me. It's a little bit fiddly, and back to business as usual next week when I'm back in Melbourne. Alrighty, she's just loading up. All right. Okay, so this is how I lined up last week, guys. Whitfield with the 85. Geez, with all the defender carnage at the moment, I guess I'll take that. Bit of an underscore, but it is what it is. Sicily, 110. We traded him in 2 weeks ago, hoping he'd go really well for the Tigers and Dons matchup. He's done pretty well. Was 100 against the Tigers and then 110 against the Dons. 105 average probably puts him top six. So I'll take that. With all the defender injuries, especially as well. Blakey 97, just going, but he's doing better than Houston and Clark. Houston and Clark, we can just wrap them all together as just the fakest defender primos that ever lived. And yeah, had I had more trades, clearly wouldn't have held on to these guys. But look, there's in terms of the defender options, we're running pretty thin. We've had a lot of injuries back there, but I guess it is what it is. And you can see, I do have Naz who's in my flex. You'll see him a bit later, but yeah, that defense line's looking pretty weak, and I think hopefully there's some relatable other coaches out there that are going, shit, my defense line is terrible. So that's how I'm feeling at the moment, anyway. So I had Hawker Hahn. He played it was the Thursday game against the Pies, wasn't it? So he scored the 54, and I clearly wasn't in the happy to take that. So I did run it with Edwards. Edwards had a couple of 80 scores along the season. I was hoping he'd have one of those 80 scores. Wasn't to be. Lost that in a few points there. It is what it is. Sometimes you just got to run the gauntlet with these ones and just see what you can get. And obviously Naz. I've got the three trades, guys, so I was in a bit of a pickle to trade or not to trade. I was thinking after the Friday game, should I trade, should I not? And funnily enough, I'm obviously traveling with my wife. And funnily enough, she's actually a big footy fan, which helps me out. Um, from the perspective of she doesn't see this as a bit of a nuisance. She's actually all for it, which is great. She's a great support. But anyway, long story short, I was actually sitting by her. I think I might have been by the pool. I'm going, should I trade? Should I not trade? And I'm sitting there talking pros and cons with her, um, just picking her brain. And look, at the end of the day, we landed on using her as a sounding board, landed on not trading in case I had an injury, which I clearly do now with Callahan. So I'm actually happy that I didn't trade. However, having said that, I would have probably been 60 to 80 points better off because I do have Roll Marsh. It was laid out, which we'll get into. I was looking at either Noah Anderson or Matty Rowell. Obviously, Noah Anderson better this past week. I think he hit 120. So, but at the end of the day, I'm happy I held because we'll get into some strategy stuff in a little moment after I do the review. So just moving our way down, Dacos, he was the preferred or should have been my preferred VC option. I think the Gorn and Bont, who was meant to be a layup, clearly not. And I think this is probably a lesson moving forward. I guess for me personally, but also maybe for you guys to take on board as well, is that if you are someone that's not got the best ranking like I do, um, it's probably getting to that point of now just sending it. And when I say send it, I mean just doing stuff that's a bit different. Because you're either gonna, like for me personally, I think I'm 12 or 13,000 at the moment. Do things a bit different in the coming 4 weeks and get up to maybe, I don't know, 8,000, 7,000, 6,000, something like that, or die on my sword trying and filter back to 18, 19, 20, 20K. And it is what it is. And that's going to be the theme of today's video is pretty much just setting it. Um, but anyway, that's a bit of a segue into my captain choices. So in Bont 99, he actually saved his score going into that fourth quarter. I think he scored a couple of goals, and 99 is not the worst score to take as captain, but I think he was predicted to be like 150. Um, it is what it is. Jordan Dawson's had a couple of low games, and we really need him to start firing. Sammy Walsh has been absolutely fantastic. I never thought that Sammy Walsh would be one of my most consistent midfielders. I think between him and Dacos, Bond's been pretty good up until this most recent game, but um, yeah, my best three I think are Dacos, Bond, Walsh, and I would never thought Walsh would have been in there, but good on him for bouncing back and glad to have him at the moment. Caleb Strong's my other trading from the previous week. He's gone really well, and I'm really stoked that I moved him back in, albeit I previously owned him earlier in the season. So good to see Sicily and Sarong doing what I pretty much set out for them to do when I traded him in I think it was last week or the week prior. Heaney, yeah, it's Heaney and Dawson. They're the ones that I really needed. I've obviously bought them at a higher price. Um, and along the season they've gone 130s, 140s, 150s. Heaney's more that spike score than coming back to sort of that floor, sort of that 100. Um, but yeah, still disappointing from those guys. Callahan's, it sounds like all reports his ankle is worse than what they originally thought. They thought he might be okay to play this week. It sounds like more recently the reports as of today, not so much. So likely to be a trade out. Unluckily, I kept my trades, and this is why I was on the fence of trading or not trading last week, and hence this is why I waited. So, actually had Dicey Sharp, that mid forward DPPGs. I love to have him in my forward line for cover at the moment, but um, I used him as a loop with LDU, so locked in that Sharp. He scored 115. Every chance LDU would have scored more than that. Clearly wasn't to be. So I got some points back there, which is being vigilant with your loops throughout the weekend is really important, especially this time of season, if you have them available to you. Um, Gorney, I was expecting obviously a lot more than that with the Cats matchup. It is what it is. Cherry, disappointing. Is yeah. I don't really want to speak on Cherry that much, to be honest. He's obviously a failed pick, and didn't see this happening for him. Such a super coach beast the last 1 to 2 years, and not to be this season for him. It is what it is. Sheasel, 132, consistent as ever. Horn Francis, clearly, with Butters out, Rose has obviously been out since the start of the season. He's carrying the load there. Really impressive from him. He would have been the number one tag target in that matchup. But yeah, good on him for smashing out a massive score. And he'll be mid only, I think, next year, quite clearly, from what I understand, from a splits perspective. And yeah, he's been going really well. I think he's like a top 8, top 10 mid last sort of 6 to 8 weeks. So one to consider for next year, maybe not, but good pot. Royal Marshall. This is where my weekend became more unstuck than what it originally was. So obviously the hero and savior from last week, he got I think it was 169 from memory. A late out, 4 minutes to go. I don't even think, and the way that I see it is, well, I had no cover. So let me get to a couple of specifics. Had no cover, which means I went around with 22 players this week, which means I had to take the Edwards 47. Had nothing else to drop out. Obviously, would have loved to have Sharp as cover in my forward line, but then I would have had no mid cover. I would have obviously had LDU on. I probably would have only made about 25 points back. Obviously, every point matters, but it is what it is. But with Romo, the thing that I'm at peace with, to an extent, albeit very frustrating, is even if I saw it, I think I was sleeping like a baby when this all happened, to give it the time difference in Europe. But I reckon had I seen this happen with 4 minutes to go, not only would the Supercoach app probably shit itself, um, but I don't know if I would have traded. I think I might have waited because I would have only had North and St Kilda players to choose. Maybe Max Hall would have been maybe the only shout. But I'm at peace with the fact that I missed it. Had it been like much earlier in the weekend, sorry, and I would have had the plethora of options to choose from, would have been a lot more frustrated. But it is what it is. And look, he made me do a massive rank jump last week. This week he's cost me a little bit. It is what it is. Swings and roundabouts. But like I think of this. I'm not sure if you guys are the Office US fans, but there's this segment where Michael's talking about his ho being his ho no mo. And I keep thinking about Romo. He's my bro no mo. It's a bit cheesy, but yeah, Romo, you're my bro no mo. Yeah. Oh, well, at the end of the day, saw back. It is what it is. Yeah, what can you do? I've dodged a couple of bulls. I've dodged homes. So it is what it is. It's my turn to feel some pain. Does just one down score this week. Yeah, he's been excellent. Pickett's been a roller coaster. Speaking of roller coasters, Petrarca can't even crack 90. I'm not sure what his deal is. No forward cover, and Naz 194. Anyone that went C into Naz would have been absolutely laughing, absolutely laughing. But that's my week. Got just gone, guys. In terms of moves, I got 3 trades. That's the good thing. I reckon I'm going to use 2 trades this week because at the end of the day, there's 4 more rounds to go. It's send it time. It's send it time, guys. So um, Callahan needs to go. Romo, I don't know if he might get named this week, but the thing with Romo, even if he does get named, if he's got a sore back, he might play really limited minutes. He's obviously ruck sharing with TDK. TDK actually went really well the week just gone, from what I understand. So my 2 trades are likely to be pending team sheets is Callahan and Romo out and getting 2 primos in. That would leave me to still loop Hulkahan Edwards. This is not my preferred way of doing things. I would much rather do say a Hulkahan and Edwards up down or a sharp Hulkahan Edwards up down. Like doing an up down would be a much preferred way of doing things. However, with the Callahan injury, I'm sort of now being forced to, I guess, run 22 primos, and that's the reality of my situation. Um, so first and foremost with Romo, there's an easy, not easy, sorry, there's a logical um, person in mind that I have, which is, sorry guys, I'm trying to, on the bloody one screen, get you guys to see what I'm doing here. Perhaps I can't get it. Sorry, you can't see, I'm on the one screen, but I'm trying to bring in Rankin, which I will do, which makes me actually a little bit of cash. So I'll complete that trade. He's obviously got the Essendon and the Richmond matchup. Oh my god. The one screen, guys. Very frustrating. All right, cool. So that's my first trade that I think that I'll do for this week. This leaves me with 47k. If I go to Finn, thanks for your services, mate. You've been awesome. Not. I tell you what, I cannot wait to get back to my home setup and go multiple screens. Oh, too good. The next one, guys, obviously after his massive, massive game this past weekend is Goulden. Can I afford Goulden? I can just afford Goulden with $1,000 to spare. How about that? Is that not meant to be? Is that not meant to be? So let me put LDU back on field. I wonder if there's a way that I can get. Obviously, I just did a couple of trades there, but I wonder if I can play around and get Sharp into my forward line somehow as cover or even in my flex. I don't think so because I've traded a mid and a forward. Look, I'm not going to try and make this video too long because obviously it's the end of the season. Most people are wrapping up. I'm trying to keep this really short, sharp, sweet. I also have to, I'm going to check out fucking 15 minutes and I haven't packed yet, so I'll likely leave it there. But I'd be keen to see if you guys can see if there's any way I can loop on Sharp onto field as opposed to Hulkahan and Edwards. I've obviously got Wang here. Let me try and play around with it. Let me go Hulkahan. Is there a way I can do it? Got Hulkahan here. Yeah, we've done it. Fuck. Sorry guys. The one screen. between internet, fucking one screen. But I've done my best to try and still bring content through. So how's that looking? That's looking a bit better, right? Sharpie scoring really well. Hmm. Maybe that's how I line up. That's my projector 24415, 2445, sorry. In terms of captains for this week, it'd be hard pressed to go not go with Nick Dacos on the Thursday against Geelong. Obviously, tag with Ocean Mullen, but you never know. Um, yeah, look, might go Dacos into Dawson. Could be a bit cheeky. Yes, Essendon. Who's Naz versing? Naz just came off a fucking 190. Oh, Sydney. Could we go maybe like that? Maybe like that. All right, guys. For the perspective that I want to keep things short, sharp, also the fact that I have to check out and I haven't packed yet, I'll leave it there. Thank you so much for joining in the video, and good luck for the next 4 weeks. Hopefully, some of these trades pay off for me and I start climbing back up the ranks. We will see. Good luck for you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.